Hello, everyone. It is Matthew. It is June 17th. It's a Wednesday, and we are doing our midweek market follow-up. Not much happening this week. Well, to say that there is, but there isn't at the same time. Things are a little sluggish, which is okay. We talked about this, that we had a great week last week. Our goal for this week is to hold on to our money, especially coming off such a strong week. We want to make sure we hold on to it and that we're not chasing things because we believe we're just so good all of a sudden, and that we're exposing ourselves to some of the market risks that are out there right now. So let's have a quick look at the dollar index. We spoke about the week starting here. I believe at least the dollar is going to come up here, retest this, and then drop away. But we haven't even had that yet. We're having sort of a flagging, I guess you would call it. Um, Even that's a tough one to say, to be honest with you. I guess you could say inverse head and shoulders here, break to the upside, but let's let the market tell us what to do. We've been trading light. I've been getting messages from some guys in the public group asking, what's going on, and we're reactive. I don't design the markets. I just try to follow them. So we're in a couple trades, and some of them are showing some promise. So let's just stick with those. And if that's all we get into this week, then that's all we get into this week. And let's have a quick peek here. So we had that break of the trend line. This is the Euro USD. We obviously were pretty close to that area, but now to me this is flagging. And speaking about that, the price coming down, hitting this area, and then moving off. There is that 50% fib level that we just love so much, and just no clear message here. If this candle dropped and it was a huge hammer pattern for me, I would take it. I would go long, at least up to here. I don't believe that this huge push has been fully exhausted, as this is the next step. So once again, just sitting on our hands, watching charts. We have a huge odd news coming up here in about 5-6 minutes. So by the time we get down this chart, we'll see what that's done. I mentioned in the private group, I mentioned to you guys that I've started to take some profits off. We've actually done pretty well following the waves of the odd yen, and we'll get to that in a minute. So we talked about this, and it was a couple days ago. So we said we want price to come up and then drop away, and it looks like it's kind of done that. Now we talked about its correlation with gold, that it's negatively correlated. I am a perpetual bull on gold, and I do believe we'll see a little more upside. You can see those, you just see nothing wants to show any weakness to the downside. Quick rejection each time those runs have been done. So we'll see what happens. And while I'm on here, I'll just quickly drop these so I don't forget to do it as I get to, but something like that is very possible. So let's see what happens. I'm just quickly ad hocing that. And but that was just because we talked about the dollar yen, something like that. I'd want to get down to here before I started even thinking about longs. We've had that pullback. We're going to have that run down. But I've just been sitting on my hands. We have those few trades that we've been rocking, and that's good enough for me. Let's go nice and easy. So over the last few days, we would want to see that sort of relaxing to a trend line and then moving north. It did find support at these EMAs, but yeah. So once again, let's just sit on our hands. I'm just going to make this video quick. It's a midweek wrap up. We're in our trades. You guys are always free to do whatever you want, but this is just how I'm trading this week. I'm taking it easy. Quickly scrolled Twitter. A lot of the other guys are saying there's sluggishness. We don't want to force anything. We're not going to force anything. There's no need for that. So I just think the odd, and we'll see what the odd news does here in a couple minutes, but they're pretty major news going down here. The odd right here, 7:30 my time, and that's in 4 minutes. So let's have a look what happens there. These could be some pretty major moves to the downside or upside. Who knows? So the euro, the Swissy here, the dollar Swissy. Yeah, nothing jumping out at me. We've had that run up. We're having a bit of a pullback. Uh, I don't know. Sitting on our hands, it's a dollar pair. Okay, so once again, it's a dollar pair, Everything does look like it's flagging, and we looked at that dollar index. So let's just let those flags complete or be very clear that, yeah, that's what they're up to, and we'll go from there. US CAD, you can see that that flag is pushing up a little more than the other pairs because of this is a commodity currency. And I believe whenever we talk about the US CAD, we look over at oil. I really do believe I see a bit of an exhaustion, maybe a double top, maybe it comes up and touches this, but I believe it's going to drop away a little bit. It's been such a strong run up. I believe it's due for a correction to the downside. Where was I here? And that is the dollar CAD. The Euro CAD, just did a video on it for you guys. We had that break, beautiful pullback. I was taking out a break even, no problem. Sat on my hands, watched it push down, but then even on the 4-hour charts, you can see that it pushed through and then started finding support right on our entry. And then we've had a run up. I got in, I got in and happy that I'm in this. It makes sense to me. And it goes back to our CAD analysis. It goes back to our full wave analysis, how it's breaking through, pulling back, showing a reason. And I think we'll be pulling to the upside. Euro yen. This is a trade that we took back here, and it's dropped so much. What an amazing trade! But we traded that pattern, and we got out, and you can just see more of these head and shoulders showing up. More of these head and shoulders. Wouldn't be looking to anything until we're down here in this area, and you can see that's where the meat of resistance is. I've already highlighted the zone, and yeah, so that is what I'm watching there. And Euro pound, nothing jumping out at me. Next. Euro Swissy. Now this was a trade that I explained back when it was just this engulfing pattern. You can see we have the intersection of two patterns here, and we wrote it up. It hit. We even called the pullback that it hit this level and it was going to pull back. So let's see what it does. It's halfway into our stop at this point. Overnight there is Swissy news and a bit of a euro tomorrow, I think. But yeah, let's hustle through this because I want to check out what happens with the odd. My guess is this breaks to the upside, and maybe that bias was because that flag was already, or that analysis was already sitting there. But yeah, I'd say a little more downside here. We've had that break, flagging, nice rejection there, and a little bit more downside. Trying to get to these odd pairs. We had the break, run up, it's rejecting, and now it's in an area where you'd start looking for buys, but not even a pair I look at that often. Odd CAD, nothing exciting there. Maybe flagging up, maybe flagging to the side, but they're both commodity currencies. I don't get too excited about this pair. Looking left, you're starting to enter into some of these resistance zones. Yeah, let's try to get to these areas here because this is a pair that we're in, and in the private group, good job, guys. We had that head and shoulders to the downside. We saw this candle pattern. We rode it all the way back up. We got out there from our long, and then we went short. So bravo on that. Absolutely bravo. And really proud of that. So let's really drop down here. Excellent. So this is a trade that's working out even more for us. It looks like there's a bit of downside happening on the odd right now. So let's have a quick look. We've got, it's probably bad. So we have a lot of unemployment, and there's the unemployment rate. So it is bad. It's worse than expected. Not good for an economy. And you can see that that trade is working out beautifully. So right on. Right on. And this is what I'm talking about. You know, I know you guys want to get into markets and you want to just be clicking away, and I understand this. Never do I speak to you from a position of an ivory tower or anything like that. But this is the power of this thing. Sure, we might get stopped out on going back to the this one here. We might get stopped out, guys, but who cares? We traded our position well. We'll see what this does. But at the end of the day, we have good trades that are forming, and they're doing exactly what we want. They're running down. They're probably going to hit at least full take profit, and maybe even further. But that's what this is all about. I know it's hard to watch money going against you, but if you set your trades up, you wait, you exude patience, and I know this is all difficult, exude patience, you can have these kind of trades where they make real money for you. The odd New Zealand as well, another currency I'm in. I've been in this for a while because it's I traded off the weekly, and you can see that I traded this, and it's something that I posted. But you can see I traded this candle here, and like this is on a weekly. This is a long way away. This has gone 120 pips, and I know a lot of guys that'll be difficult for you, but to have the patience and to wait that out. But you can see that this is dropping, and it's dropping aggressively. And I had already gone to break even. I scaled off some of the trades because I had run up and it ran down, and I ran back up, and I re-entered a small 0.5% short there, and then we've dropped. So you can see where the power of this comes into play. So great, we got two trades working out, and everyone's happy. So I really think upside with the calamity that is on our way, and people just, you know, I heard that over the Hertz stock that someone had killed themselves about it, and I just think what a waste. What a waste of putting yourself in a position, chasing some BS. I never traded that Hertz rental car fiasco. I think it's a fiasco. I think it's a crime. I think what they're doing is ridiculous, and it sounds like even the SEC is starting to step in, and everything's become a Ponzi scheme. And this is, guys, a textbook definition of a bubble. When you have kids with their cell phones making thousands of dollars a day, this is a problem. And they don't know, you're starting to see the patience of this whole process, but these youngsters who don't have anyone to tell them, do whatever you want, but you need to watch out for this, and everything's going to the moon, and look how much money I'm making. And these guys on Twitter who are talking about this, and half these guys are joking on Twitter because it gets them likes and advertising revenue. So, anyways, I'm proud that we're sticking to our guns, learning as professionals do. Another trade that we talked about, guys, like this is sizing up to be a pretty good week already. I know I'm into profit this week, and I thank you for joining the private group, but this is the kind of value that we're delivering here. And think about this on a compounded level. Think about what we can do. Sure, we're going to have bad weeks. We might even have bad months. But over time, you can see the process that we're trading, the waves of price that we're trading. We're trading a longer time frame, dailies. You can see dojis that are presenting themselves, and you can see that there is a lot of opportunity here. So really proud of you guys. I know it's a Wednesday. I don't want to really ramble on. We already did oil. These are some trades that we've looked at. I don't see anything yet. If it goes up, great. I've pretty much scaled out of my oil trades. It was a trade I had a while ago that I was really long on. When is that? It was a USO trade. It was one of my most spoken about. Some guys were really hot under the collar and calling me stupid, and I admit there's a degree of luck absolutely to this, but it has netted me a nice return already. But I've pretty much scaled out. The risk was a little too much for me, and you can see that bing, it gapped up and it just kept going. So at this point, I'm out, and I've held on to my money, and I'm sure it can do anything, it can go anywhere, but I'm not interested in playing that anymore. Gold, I'm telling you, I'm a perpetual bull. There's that head and shoulders that we wrote. It did break, and it found support here, and it's finding support, and I think it'll move on up. So silver, another one that is supposed to be poised, and it's going to be the next amazing metal, and blah, blah, blah. Who cares? We are technical traders. But you can see on that pullback, this candle here is telling you something. And to me, with all the ridiculousness in the market, this is where we should be looking at this 1873, $19 mark, and we're down here. So we have a little bit of a ways to go, and that's something that I'm watching. We'll see what the debacle in. I follow Hong Kong. I follow some of the Chinese politics right now, and you got a second wave now happening. Beijing is, this is so. Off the top of my head, I believe Beijing and Hong Kong and Wuhan and all that, they were about 6 to 7, 8 weeks ahead of us. So they're experiencing another second wave right now, guys. So protect yourselves, lay low. These are the conditions that we're in. It's an incredible time to be alive. You know, the financial markets, this is not the last issue, but we are trading through it. And if you just stick with this program that I'm laying out for peanuts, I don't care whether people leave these groups. We are trading a system that is working. You're seeing it live. And I someone mentioned that maybe you can't chat in the private group. I'll see what I can do. I've noticed no one is chatting in the private group. I will see if I can change that or if it's something that I feel free to open conversation. It's only four of us in this group at this point. Feel free to take advantage of the coddling that I will give you and the bespoke attention that I will give you right now. I have years of training behind me. We have a couple weeks only, and I know I'm new and I'm a guy off the internet. But over the next coming weeks, I'm going to be delivering more value for you guys, and we'll see just what we can get ourselves into. But at this point in the game, relax. We've got a quality trades on the table. You know, we got at the end of the day, we don't know whether this odd yen trade would have worked out, but it's going to, and it looks like it's going. So obviously, bring your stops in. Bring. I really hate these windows. I wish they didn't do that. I wish there was an easier way for me to and maybe if one of you guys knows, but maybe that's what I'll do. So what I did is um, just so I don't put my cursor on it and it blocks half the trade. So obviously there was where the stop started. It started running down, and I just inched my stop closer and closer and closer. We had that wave where it pulled back, you can see, and I've now put my stop above there. We're running away, and we can just start moving our stop down, locking in those profits. But I do not see any reason why this shouldn't reach there. So there you go, guys. Awesome trading this week so far. It's Wednesday already. I know guys want more action. What more do you want than what looks like a couple percent being added to this week already? So keep our heads on us, keep moving forward. Awesome trading. Great job in the group. Keep collaboration going, and we will rock. Awesome, guys. Thank you so much.